Have you ever actually stopped to wonder why you act the way you do? Like, why is it that some days you wake up completely ready to conquer the world, and then on other days you can't even find the motivation to drag yourself out of bed? Well, what if I told you that the exact same principles governing the physical creation of the universe are the very ones secretly steering your daily moods, your choices, and your struggles? Stick with me here, because we are diving deep into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are looking at something truly mind-bending today. We're going to connect the deep cosmic physics found in ancient Vedic texts directly to our modern day-to-day psychology. We'll explore how physical matter itself is charged with consciousness and how understanding that blueprint actually gives us the ultimate cheat code for living a peaceful, highly effective life in a world that is just full of doubts. Here's our roadmap for this journey. First, we'll cover the Vedic blueprint. Second, Panci-karan and charging the elements. Third, the three gunas. Fourth, the machinery of the mind. And finally, how we can apply all of this to master the modern world. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the Vedic blueprint. To really understand our own minds, we first have to look at the foundational blueprints of reality provided by the Vedic traditions. And the knowledge we're pulling from today comes primarily from two absolute powerhouse sources. On one side, we have the Upanishads. Now, these texts are deeply contemplative. They ask the massive, abstract questions, like what is the ultimate reality and who am I? But on the other side, we have the Bhagavad Gita. The Gita takes all that deep, abstract philosophy and drops it right onto a battlefield, both literally and metaphorically. It basically asks, okay, given this reality, how should I actually act in this world? So the Upanishads give us the philosophical foundation, and the Gita gives us the highly practical implementation. Moving right along to part 2, Panci-karan, or charging the elements. So, how is the physical universe actually built? We're shifting gears from abstract philosophy to what modern researchers are analyzing as the actual physical science of consciousness. Vedic science identifies 5 cosmic elements, but look, we aren't just talking about dirt and puddles here. They represent the foundational states of all physical matter. Earth represents all solids, water is all liquids, air covers all gaseous states, fire represents all plasmas, and ether, well, ether is the space, the ultimate container holding it all together. But here's the absolutely crucial point. In their nascent state, these are just raw physical materials. So how on earth do we get from that to the perceived living reality we actually experience? Well, check out this mathematical formula from a modern scientific paper. It beautifully represents the ancient Vedic rule of Panci-karan. It literally shows how the raw earth element is infused with life. Think of it kind of like baking, right? You don't just eat raw flour. The physical matter is mathematically dressed. It's mixed with incredibly precise fractions of the other elements and then sparked with consciousness. This process takes essentially dead, inert matter and charges it with life, turning raw ingredients into the rich, tangible reality all around us.
And it gets crazier, because this charging builds on itself. This next equation is recursive, which means consciousness is folded into physical matter over and over again, layer by layer. It's so much like a master blacksmith continuously folding the steel of a katana to give it that immense strength and structure. By repeatedly dressing dead matter with consciousness, in these continuous layered cycles, nature creates the vibrant, incredibly complex reality we live in. It is a literal cosmic equation for breathing life and awareness into the universe. Okay, part 3. The three gunas explained. Now, if the entire cosmos is built by charging elements with consciousness, how does this energy manifest inside us? Chapter 14 of the Bhagavad Gita answers this perfectly with the 3 modes of material nature, which are known as the gunas. The first mode is sattva. Sattva is the mode of goodness. When sattva is dominant, it acts like a clear, flawless light in your mind. It brings peace, clarity, and true wisdom. You feel happy and you just want to do good, honest work. However, the Gita gives us a little warning here. Even sattva is a binding force. It can actually tie you down by making you attached to your own comfort, your happiness, and even your intellectual superiority. Then we have the second mode, which is rajas. This is the mode of passion and intense energy. Rajas is born directly from our desires, our thirst for more, and our attachments. It's that raw energy that makes you want to hustle, achieve, and win at all costs. But because it's rooted in craving, when Rajas gets too high, it makes the mind restless, greedy, and heavily attached to the results of your actions. You become completely obsessed with the finish line. And finally, there's tamas, the mode of ignorance. Tamas is that heavy, dark energy that completely clouds our wisdom. When Tamas takes over, we can barely tell the difference between right and wrong. We feel lazy, careless, confused, and honestly, we just want to sleep or completely avoid our responsibilities. It completely covers our inner light.
Which brings us to part 4, the machinery of the mind.
So, we have goodness, passion, and ignorance. But how do these actually operate inside your head on a random Tuesday morning? Well, think of yourself as a car. You absolutely need all 3 gunas to function. Your Rajaguna is your accelerator. It gives you the raw energy to get up, go to work, and actually take action. Your Tamoguna is the brake. You need it to slow down, relax, and sleep at night. But here is the crucial piece of the puzzle: the steering wheel. Your Sattvaguna is the steering. It provides the wisdom to know exactly when to accelerate and when to brake. If you only have an accelerator and brakes, but absolutely no steering, you are going to crash. Sattva absolutely must be the guide.
Let's look at another analogy. Imagine a balloon filled with helium. That balloon represents your true self, your eternal soul or Atma, which naturally just wants to rise up into the sky of pure, free consciousness. But it's tied down by a string. That string is made up of the 3 gunas. Mother Nature uses these exact modes to keep us engaged with the physical world. So our goal isn't to fight the balloon or pop it. Our goal is to learn exactly how to untie that string.
So how do we untie it? By understanding their dynamic. You see, the gunas aren't a constant, circular tug-of-war inside you, and they operate by overpowering one another. If you want to increase your sattva, your peace, and your clarity, you have to actively overpower your rajas and tamas. If you just let your lazy tamas take over, well, your sattva and rajas inherently drop. You are always the one in the driver's seat, deciding which mode gets the most power at any given time. All right, let's bring this all together in part 5, Master the Modern World. How do we take this ancient cosmic tech and actually use it on a Monday morning to master our lives? Let's talk about your career for a second. Burnout is a massive issue today. But look at how beautifully our sources combine to solve this. The Gita says, perform your professional duties with sheer excellence. Use your rajas to act. But use your sattva to remain completely detached from the results. Work basically becomes worship when the attitude is right. Complementing this, the Upanishads remind us to step back and remember our true nature. Success and failure are temporary. You are the eternal witness to your career. You are not the career itself.
And what about stress and anxiety? Because we all deal with that. The Gita advises us to focus entirely on the action in the present moment, accepting whatever outcome arrives with equanimity. That is a perfectly sattvic approach. The Upanishads take it a step deeper. They teach us to recognize that anxiety is literally just an event happening in the mind. It's just a turbulent wave of rajas. But you are the pure, charged awareness observing that wave. Shift your identity away from the anxious mind and back to the silent observer.
Now, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually increase our sattva to make this happen? Thankfully, our sources provide incredibly practical, direct steps. Number 1, eat homemade food. The purity of what you put in your body directly affects your mind's frequency, so avoid heavy tamasic junk food. Number 2, practice morning yoga, like Surya Namaskar, to clear those physical channels. And number 3, feed your mind by reading just 2 verses of a wisdom text like the Gita daily. Look, these might seem like tiny, almost insignificant actions, but they mathematically shift your internal formula. Slowly but surely, they loosen the grip of rajas and tamas and put sattva firmly back on the steering wheel.
As the Bhagavad Gita tells us, when light and discernment dawn in this body, as well as in the mind and senses, then one should know that sattva is predominant. Just as the physical universe is built by mathematically charging elements with consciousness, you are the architect of your own inner cosmos. The blueprint is literally right there in your hands. So my final question to you is this: what single, small action are you going to take today to charge your reality with the light of sattva?